kids! 26th of February is Mahashivratri, so today's Bal Sanskar session is based on this. In today's session, we will first praise Bhagwan Shiva with Kirtan, Pranayam, Omkar Gunjan. Then, in story time, we will know how a Chandal, or an untouchable, who used to make a living by killing animals and birds, became the form of Bhagwan Shiva, just because he observed a Shivaratri. Then, in Sanskriti Swastya, we will see how Shivalinga appeared. After that, we will understand what should be done on Shivaratri to get maximum benefits of this auspicious festival. So come, let us start today's Bal Sanskar Kendra by remembering Pujya Gurudev.
Now all children will hum Omkar. Hari Now, children, we will do Tratak. Tratak increases our concentration and memory power.
Glory of Mahashivratri. Children, once upon a time, there was a Chandal, meaning a person of very low character. He used to hunt animals and birds, drink their blood, eat their meat, and earn his living by selling their skin. He seduced a Brahmin widow and took her to live with him. From her, a child was born named Vira. Vira began to engage in misdeeds like his father. One day, Vira went to the forest to hunt. During the night, while he was searching for prey, he lost his way. In hunger, he climbed a tree to look around. He spotted a beam of light at a distant place. Troubled by hunger and thirst, Vira headed towards it. Soon, he discovered a small Shiva temple with a sun's hut nearby. The Sant was engrossed in meditation. He thought, "The Sant is sitting in prayer. I will ask him for food when he gets up." The Sant's prayer was not over yet. He might end it soon, and so the entire night passed in this hope. Coincidentally, that night was Mahashivratri. Unknowingly, Vira observed the Mahashivratri Jagran without food and water, thus fasted while also receiving the sun's blessings. In the morning, the sun spoke to Vira. "Sun, go and take a bath." Vira came back after taking a bath. Then the sun said, "Sun, chant Om Namah Shivaya and offer Bilva Patra or wood apple leaf to Bhagwan Shiva." Vira did the same and completed the last part of the worship of Shivaratri. Afterward, he had some food. Vira died after some period. When a person dies, their next birth is determined by the deeds of their past life, as per Bhagwan's law. Throughout his life, Vira committed many sins, but unknowingly, as he performed fasting and worshipped Bhagwan during Mahashivratri, this was his only virtuous act. Because of this virtue, he was reborn as a king named Raja Virsen. By the virtue of observing the fast on Shivaratri, he remembered his previous life and as a result, worshipped Bhagwan Shiva and developed an affection for sons. He renovated many Shiva temples and spread devotion to Shiva. All of it accumulated in so much virtue that after his death, King Virsen merged with Bhagwan Shiva and attained liberation. When King Daksha Prajapati performed a yajna which was intended to humiliate Bhagwan Shiva, Devi Sati saw it as an insult to her husband. In her anger, she used the power of yoga to create a fire and ended her own life. This made Bhagwan Shiva angry. He plucked a hair from his matted hair and angrily tossed it onto the peak of the mountain. From this hair of Bhagwan Shiva, another divine being emerged, resembling the fierce form of Bhagwan Shiva himself. Bhagwan Shiva named him Virabhadra. Virabhadra was the reincarnation of King Virsen, who had been liberated by merging with Bhagwan Shiva. As a result, Bhagwan Shiva granted him a divine birth, infused with the radiance of his own body. Following Bhagwan Shiva's orders, Virabhadra destroyed the yajna of Daksh Prajapati. After completing this task, Virabhadra stopped to rest at a location between Haridwar and Rishikesh on his way back to Kailash. On that very spot, a temple dedicated to Virabhadra still exists today. So, you see, children, a mere hunter who used to chase rabbits, deer, and other animals, he, due to the blessings of a sun's presence, unknowingly participated in Mahashivratri celebrations and chanted the Shiva mantra. As a result of this devotion, he was reborn as a king in his next life. This king is now worshipped as Shiv Virabhadra. How glorious is the devotion to Bhagwan Shiva! This story is from the Kedar Kand section of the scripture called Skanda Puran in glory of Shiv Bhakti. Simply listening to this story is considered very virtuous. All the children will say loudly, Jai Bhagwan Shambhu, Sada Shiv, Jai Sadguru Dev Bhagwan.
Do you know the story of how the Shivling came into existence? In the Shiv Puran, it is mentioned that Bhagwan Brahma created the universe. Bhagwan Vishnu took the responsibility of maintaining it. One day, both gods pondered over who was superior, the creator or the maintainer. The tension sparked a dispute between them. Meanwhile, an intensely bright beam equivalent to millions of suns appeared. It extended towards the sky and the underworld. The command from the bright beam was, O gods, the one who arrives first, after finding its end, will be deemed greater. Brahmaji ascended towards the sky, and Vishnuji descended towards the underworld at a swift pace. Despite their efforts over many ages, they couldn't find the end of the beam. Exhausted, both gods returned defeated, their nobility weakened. They began praising the bright beam, known as Shivalinga, the symbol of Shiv. This symbol, representing the infinite and internal Shiv element, transformed the conflict between the two superpowers into mutual cooperation. The auspicious hours and the night dedicated to preventing chaos in the universe is known as Mahashivratri. Subsequently, the sound of Om emanated from this bright beam. With the creation of the universe, Jyotirlingas appeared on earth due to the influence of this radiant light. Even today, worshipping a Shivling is considered worship of Shiv. Shivji states, I am not satisfied with great penances, sacrifice, donations, or fast, as I am with the fasting on the day of Shivaratri. Pujya Bapuji says, you should take full advantage of Shivaratri. On this day, there is such a combination of planets, stars, that our mind comes up from the lower centers. Our mind is uplifted. If you do not go to a temple in a crowded place, then just chant Om Namah Shivaya, worshipping Bhagwan Shiv, and continued chanting of Om Namah Shivaya, peacefully, has its great significance. Worship done from the heart is 10 times more beneficial than worship done for the sake of rituals. You will have some divine experiences.
What to do and what not to do. The worshipping ritual of Bhagwan Shiv follows a protocol that once he is established at a particular spot, his position is not to be shifted, nor is his place changed. The Nirmaya in Bhagwan Shiv's temple, where leaves, flowers, panchamrit is offered, should not be crossed over. That's why this complete circumambulation, pradakshina, around a Shiv temple is not performed, as doing so would disturb the offerings. On the day of Mahashivratri, lighting a lamp with pure, clarified butter desi ghee, and chanting the Bam Bij mantra 1¼ lakh times is believed to alleviate joint pain, vomiting, phlegm, respiratory diseases, diabetes, and so on. The Bij mantra has a subtle and causal effect on the body, imparting its divine influence. On the day of Mahashivratri, chanting the Mahamrityunjay mantra helps ward off untimely death, protects from accidents, and ensures longevity. It also creates a positive atmosphere at home. The Mahamrityunjay mantra is as follows: Om, Hum, Jum, Sa, Om, Pur, Bhuva, Swa, Om, Trambakam, Yajamahe, Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam, Urvarikamev Bandhana, Mrityur Mokshya Mamritat, Om, Swa, Bhuva, Bhu, Om, Sa, Jum, Om, Om.
Narayan, 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 Narayan. With this, today's Sanskar Kendra concludes. We will meet again next week with a new knowledge-enhancing topic. Until then, Hari Om.